Welcome to another Roll for Crit Gen Con 2015. I'm Will Keeler.
I'm Jonathan Estes. Of course, we aren't doing our regular podcast this week, so there was some big news that we missed out on that we're going to talk about today, as well as some games coming out of the publisher ZMan Games.
Because it involves them.
Right, that's how it works here. So we're going to start with the news. So if you haven't heard, ZMan acquired, or their parent company acquired, Plaid Hat Games. So kind of a big deal.
Yeah, because, well, this is the first time we haven't seen, that doesn't involve Asmodee.
Right, it's amazing that they got to them first. I think now
Right.
it's like an arms race, everybody trying to get to where they want to go.
Well, I think it was really interesting because...
That's what they do in arms races, right?
Yeah,
Go
sure.
ahead.
Because we actually got to talk to press, pretty much.
Yeah, we had a little chat with ZMan rep, and they talked about how, it's still going to be under the label of Plaid Hat.
Right, they're going to do their thing. It's really, ZMan's going to help them with the distribution, which I'm very excited about it because I know sometimes I feel like Plaid Hat just seems to disappear.
Right, yeah, that's true. So
and what helps them, though, is apparently ZMan doesn't really have a place in the U.S., but Plaid Hat does, so now they're going to be able to use their storage in Dallas, I believe it was.
Yeah, they also said that Plaid Hat is really good with their web stuff.
Right.
So they're going to be helping them out with that, their online store, things like that, because Plaid Hat always has cool pre-orders and bonuses. Right. So yeah, it was surprising. Did not expect this.
No, I didn't. And after hearing from the rep, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Because also
I like reassuring.
Hearing about Crossroads. Like apparently.
Yes, talk about that.
Apparently after acquiring they heard about the Crossroads and they're like, because their next Crossroads is going to be space. Which, first of all, that's awesome. I don't know if I heard anything about
Crossroads
it. Did you?
game Dead of Winter was the first one. I didn't know it was space.
Well, apparently ZMan looked at it and they're like, you ever thought of maybe mixing these? Like, so you can go back and forth? And apparently Plaid Hat's like, yeah, let's do it.
So in the future, all the Crossroads games will be compatible, so you'll be able to have space zombies with that system.
I think that's a great idea.
It's awesome.
I think,
it's crazy.
I think it really shines the idea of the Crossroads being
being a connected thing rather than just a...
It has the word crossroad on it.
Technical term.
Right.
So all that stuff is cool.
Right.
I think let's get to the actual games that we got to see.
Yeah, let's get to games not only see that we got.
That's true. We're going to show some of them off to you.
Let's start off with this one.
So this is just a little one. We haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but it's called Dark Stories. I believe it was released at Gen Con, but it should be out other places soon. This is one I'm super excited for. It's basically... Like if you ever used to do those logic puzzles where there's like a mystery and you have to ask yes or no questions and try to figure out what it was. Like the famous one is like the doctor. It was his son. That's why he couldn't operate on him. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
So this is a full of things like that. You can play it with as many people as you want, and they're more mystery, morbid, dark-based stories, so more fun for people like us.
Well, we're going to be doing in the next 10 hours on the ride back.
Very excited. So maybe we'll put up some footage of us playing, play along. But anyway, we'll talk about that another time.
Well, anyways, if you haven't heard, we've talked about Tragedy Looper, a game we've enjoyed, and this is the new expansion.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped.
What it comes with is more roles, more stories to go along with, and it looks really fun, and can't wait to throw it in with the Tragedy Looper.
Yeah.
And it makes the characters much more interesting and involved. And speaking of the designer, Bakafire, he had another game at Gen Con here, Code of Nine. This is really cool because he was actually there, and I'm gonna just
drum roll.
I actually got it signed by him.
Yeah. See, we're real fans, just like you.
But the way the game works is pretty much it's a worker placement, simple like round the clock, and each turn there's only certain things that people can do.
Okay.
And as the things goes, there's things in the center that give points. And one of the chips is worth 0.
Okay.
Now the reason why that actually matters is because everyone gets 2 cards in the beginning that are hidden. And those cards will say at the end of the game, like, each coin is now worth 2 points, or like, so everyone has their own rules on how the scoring is going to happen at the end of the game.
So everyone's kind of playing a different game from
However,
the other players.
you can look, it does affect everyone though, and you can look at other people's cards, but one of them's harder to see than the other one. So it's a fun it's like a crazy,
Interesting. It's all about memories, right? That's the theme?
Yeah, that's the whole idea. The 2 cards are like
memories.
different memories installed.
Yeah, it sounds like, this guy is just a really cool, creative game.
Yeah. And I can't wait to play this. It sounds hilarious to just go around and just be like, because imagine you're doing like, my 2 cards are going to be good as long as no one, let me look at your card. That negates my card. Oh.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like...
Believe. Yeah, this should be fun, and I think this is definitely now. This guy is someone to look out for all his games in the future because
Well, not only that, I think it's because
they go fast,
an influence
popular.
from Japan over here
Yeah,
in English, which is important.
Which is interesting. Not a lot of games are doing that.
I see a lot more. I have a couple that are still in Japanese with maybe an English instruction booklet, but like seeing
in
this,
mass market.
and I hope this, like through him, we see a larger wave because I think that they'll allow a new interpretation to how we see board games.
Yeah, it would be cool. It would be cool. And finally, there were a couple others at ZMan, but the last one we're going to talk about today on this is Apocalypse Chaos, which is, to be honest, not that great a name.
But the game does not lives way beyond the name.
We really like it. It's a cooperative sci-fi game in which you and your friends crash landed on a planet and you're surrounded by aliens. So I feel like there's a good movie comparison, but I can't think of it. But it's that kind of thing where you're sort of surrounded on all sides and you got to fight your way out and survive.
But what's interesting is the board, it actually has platforms and pillars. And as the game goes on, those pillars will be shot down.
Right.
And if you're like me and underneath one, they will fall on you and deal massive amounts of damage and likely kill you.
Yeah, so we only did the beginner game, but as the rep told us, no one he saw that day had yet to win the scenario. So it's definitely challenging. What's cool is it has a campaign mode and a regular. You can create your own missions as well. So there's a lot of variety in there.
Yeah, like if you like anything like ghost stories and stuff, this is definitely a game to pick
or
up.
something, or like Space Alerty, but
yeah.
a little. It felt a little, less thinky, maybe. Not as I don't know. It's because we're in a demo situation, so I was a little less stressed.
Because I was thinking a bit more. Because I was thinking like, how could I rotate? My character's ability was moving enemies, and I made a big mistake of moving a character so you can hit it. But there is, and it's more of the like. There is a lot more things, and I feel like in a really cool, different way. It's not as much like how. Like, you know how ghost stories, you're like, oh god, we're getting swarmed. It didn't feel like that kind of. It's more like, how can I hit? It felt more like a fighting game.
But don't get us wrong, we lost very badly.
Yeah. No, but I meant like, it wasn't the style of like, I didn't feel like we were losing because this, like, I felt bad, miserable losing. It's more like, I feel like.
We didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah. But I meant like, it's like, have you ever played a video game that's just, a video game that's just challenging? Like, you're trying to think, okay, maybe if I hop over this wall, it's like, you think of it more like, because it feels more action-y.
It's a little more...
it feels less turn-based to me.
You have more options. Yes, I agree. Yes, action-y is a good way to put it. It's less about, like... It is about positioning and stuff, but it feels more, I think, applicable to a real-life situation. So it's less abstract, I think. You're saying, oh, I'm going to shoot that person with my gun, so I need to back up, or I'm going to punch the guy who's right next to me, and then the pillar's going to fall, so I got to move over there. So even though it's turn-based, yeah, like you said, it has that action flow to it. Yeah, and some other mechanics are really cool, like the cards, the way when you defeat an enemy, you flip it over, and you get a weapon from it or a power-up.
Right, which I think...
Very seamless.
Well, what worked really well there is it rewards you, I think, much more than some other games that are difficult. It wasn't like, well, I'll kill that thing, and then I'm just did it. It wasn't like, okay, I killed that thing. Okay, I have a flamethrower now. Yeah!
And we also didn't even mention really quick the dice rolling, which is that's how you get your movement. A whole other interesting mechanic. Your dice correspond to what you get to do that turn.
I really like that. Though.
Almost Dead of Winter-ish.
Yeah, but each character is also unique, so like one punch for one character means a different thing for another.
So anyway, if you can't tell, we're excited to dig into this one a lot more. So ZMan had a lot of stuff. We might talk about them a little more later on, but that was their main coverage for today. You can see lots of pictures of all these games, plus a lot more stuff at rollforcrit.com/GenCon15. And lots more videos, and we sell games there. And please follow us for more news the entire week and weekend that Gen Con is going on. So until we see you next time, I'm Jonathan Estes.
I'm Will Keeler, and this is Roll for Crit Gen Con 2015.